Dear learners, now you have finished your lesson 11 and we are approaching the end of our MOOC course. And you heard about spirituality, religious and spiritual needs in patients. And the question is how to recognize spiritual needs in patients. What are your cues, for example, for spiritual needs if you talk to your patients?
Actually, as a physician, I had really to learn that spiritual care is an important part of our patient care. So how do we recognize this? You sometimes see when the patient has some, religious books or, artifacts on the table beside the bed, or, how the patient talks. But very often we really have to address spiritual issues when we talk with our patient and go into the discussion. I learned this in palliative care, to rely on the chaplain or on the help from a chaplain. And I also learned that spiritual support can mean a lot for the patient and is also very important for the treatment. When we talk about, self-care, also for us as physicians, to look where we stand with our spirituality means a lot for the patient, so that we can discuss with the patient's spirituality. Maybe from investigations in the United States that many patients would really love to talk about spiritual issues, not with a chaplain, or not only with a chaplain, but also with their physician. So it's sometimes important also for the patient to know where you are, what kind of religion and what are your religious beliefs. And I think it could be a great relief for the patient to know that you're not only talking about medication and what's going on, but also about another issue of being a human, and this is spirituality.
Yes, thank you. So you said that you learned in palliative care about the importance of spiritual care, and there are lots of this kind of assessment instruments for spiritual care. So, but on the other hand, besides these assessment instruments, which many find very handy, it is also from the very beginning suggested that you should, have one question ready to address this dimension of care. So could you reveal what is your question?
Well, actually, I'm working mainly in Austria and Bavaria, and many of our patients are Catholics, obviously. So what I'm asking my patient is, do you have any belief in God, or what kind of your religion do you have? I'm really addressing that one. And if they say yes, or say to what religion, I frankly talk, would it be a support for you when we call a chaplain or to discuss some issues, even of your disease, with the chaplain? And this is very interesting. Sometimes the patient itself hasn't thought about that, and they say, oh, might be a good idea. Yeah, I could try it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but of course, those patients who are not religious, the feeling of belonging might be something to strive for. And we have heard in this lesson also that they feel that they do not belong. So how to enhance this feeling of belonging maybe in the patients?
Yeah, we could do this as nurses and physicians, because I think everybody has kind of feeling how to belong there. But again, even if someone is not member of a religious community, or we do not have the chaplain of this religious community, they accept it. For example, a Muslim sometimes also accept Catholic priests to discuss about that one, and vice versa. And I think it is very important to openly address this question, frankly discuss about it, and offer some support. And sometimes the nurse or the physician can bring the most important support, even in the spiritual issues.
Yes, thank you.